Welcome to another edition of the Mark and Jerry Bullshit Sessions. And today we have two guests. Jerry, who are they?
Yeah, Chris Elio and Lee Gerstmann.
Hey, buddies.
Hey,
what's
how
up?
you doing?
Cheers.
I mean, all we need is Alice in the middle. We'd have the whole Brady Bunch.
Cheers.
I know the Brady Bunch was the original Zoom call, man. So how you guys doing? How you doing, Chris?
Oh man, I'm doing swimmingly. I just got done telling you since we last talked, my channel has gone from nil to the moon, so to speak, or not exactly. I mean, it's not like ridiculous, but it's grown tremendously.
Now, your YouTube page is pretty sweet, dude. You have this natural ability to tell a story, man. You have that voice. I wish I had it, and I'm kind of jealous.
You got a good voice, Jerry. I'm the one with a crappy voice. Everybody here has a good voice. My voice is like low in the mix.
Well, first and foremost, thank you, Jerry, for saying that. I do appreciate that. And I just think the number one thing is that, like everything that I do, I have tremendous amount of passion for, and that's the thing. And I come from a fan perspective. And the other thing that I do that I really enjoy a lot is I've been getting, like, I'm not even joking, thousands of comments, and I answer all of them. Like, I answer almost all of them, on the topics that they're bringing up, and people want to talk about them. So I think that's cool that there's an audience out there talking back to me, and I get to go on the computer and be like, and shout back at them and be like, hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Here's what I think. I made an answer video to one person's, comment. So it's a cool thing. It's a nice back and forth, and it's a good community. So,
well, let me say,
I appreciate them,
man. Well done.
And it's
well
over,
done, man.
And shameless plug, it's over at Redbeard Videos. So it's Redbeard Videos for those watching at home.
On your TikTok, you said you're from Redbeard Videos because you can't give links in the videos, so they just go look for it. Okay. I'm trying.
Well, I mean, you can go on your profile if people like go to your profile and follow you, then you can put your link on your profile, I believe. I may be speaking out of turn here. I'm not even going to pretend to lie to you. My 15-year-old daughter, she's the one that kind of runs my my TikTok. So
nice. Yeah, I've been looking on there today, and all I see is tits and ass, and I'm looking for the musicians playing instruments.
No, you're not going to find.
Well,
you're not going to find them, and that's why I'm not 100% sure what nerve I hit exactly that started my videos from averaging close to 100 views to now, my average. I have 33 videos, and I have almost 100,000 views now. So, I mean, if I go by average, I'm averaging, I don't even know, is that 3,000 per video or something? But like, there are 3 videos in particular that have a tremendous amount of views. And then the rest of them are poking up near 1,000 or 500 or 700. But it was one video in particular, actually it was 2 in particular that are on the topic of hair metal. And I think that's something that guys are out there, mostly guys, I would imagine. I had some women comment, but mostly guys are out there looking for. There's not a lot of people out there talking hair metal at this point, except unless your name's Eddie Trunk.
Honestly, I talk about it. Yeah. I try to talk about it on our podcast, but Lee shuts me up. I want to do I want to do more Poison, more Rat, more freaking Warrant. We had the Warrant episode with you, and I had to fucking twist his arm for that one.
Yeah, Lee is very much a niche guy.
Lee, real quick.
Yeah.
Yep. I shut people up because I've got a plugged something. I'll leave it at that.
Well, Lee, in my experiences with him, I've done a few of these with him, or a few of the album reviews, something like that. And he's a very niche guy. He's into like niche music that not a lot of people are into, and I appreciate that because one of my other aliases in the broadcast world is Chris the Progtologist. For roughly 10 years, actually since 2007 now. And my show, Progtology 101, has been on the air since 2007 in one way, shape, or form. And that is a very niche thing. Prog rock, prog metal, avant-garde. Trust me, I know that there's not very many people out there listening to it. And if they are, they'd rather actually listen to the music as opposed to people talk about it. So
yeah,
that's just what we're dealing with.
I like that name, the prog. Is it the proctologist or the prog?
Yeah, that's exactly.
I had to look at it a couple times
because either way, it's fine.
No, it's the progtologist. It's the progtologist with a G. I don't examine assholes unless you happen to be one. So,
man, I like that. You're cool, man. You're cool,
Thanks.
Chris.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well,
Anybody who listens to metal at all and has ever heard of like either Sirius Satellite Radio or watched Headbangers Ball before it ended, a man by the name of Jose Mangin gave me that name. So
That's
So-
cool.
most
I
of my
have to give
music,
you
most of my
question.
music is stuff like this.
that's the shit, man.
I
Extreme
don't even know what that
rules.
is. I see the pink lettering and I don't even know what it says.
It's
It's red
extreme.
lettering. And
I'm
extreme
gonna
is
start out with a
awesome.
question for you guys. I'm
All
gonna
right.
change
You know,
the subject
Betty
here a little bit. With all these police shootings and all that, I was wondering, when do you guys think
Bro,
is it okay for a policeman to use lethal force?
that was a hard stop.
I was gonna eventually get to that because I actually wrote notes because last week I was so wasted. I don't know what I
Well,
was saying.
because I got a lot of shit from a few of my.
I don't even know what you said.
I got a few
I literally had Nuno Betancourt in my mouth, and then
No,
Nah,
I
well,
mean, I don't know what Jerry said.
I said, when
Jerry
is it?
asked
When do
a
you,
question and I didn't hear him.
all right, Lee, I said, when do you think, in your opinion, it's okay for a policeman to use force, deadly force?
So about policemen using force
Deadly force.
Deadly
When is it
force.
okay, you think? When
I'll go
is
last on this one.
or if you want my real answer, I would say if it's a situation where it's really a bad thing and someone is in deep harm and a policeman sees that someone is in deep harm, but they don't have permission to go into the property. But if they don't go into the property and save someone, then someone's life is in danger. I think that a person who's a police officer can be considered a hero if they know that sometimes life is beyond mere jurisdiction. Like if someone is like, I hear someone saying, help me, they're going to stab me with a knife. And if they go, well, we don't know if that's true, we're going to walk by. But if someone takes the chance and goes and, investigates it, I think that that's fine. If someone isn't being stabbed with a knife, if it is a joke, and the guy and the person, whoever's saying, haha, we're kidding, fine. But if there is a chance that it is true, it's like, why would a policeman be like, we can't investigate this because we didn't get a call? Does that mean
Hey Lee,
the
Lee,
police
we got
officers
Lee.
are not
Hey
not?
Lee, just
That's
needed
what I wanna say.
a shorter answer, man, because we don't have much time with Chris. But
All right,
this
Mark,
is
Sorry
go ahead.
about that.
this is what I'm gonna say. What happened? What, yesterday or the day before with the girl who
Columbus.
who had a knife?
Yeah.
And I don't know. People say, why didn't the officer shoot him in the leg? Why didn't the officer use a taser? To me, when I saw that girl's arm go back and the girl was pinned up and her arm was coming down with the knife, you have seconds to make a decision: shoot or let that girl get stabbed and then shoot the other girl.
This is a tough one. I mean, I got to be honest with you. You know, Mark knows me. Jerry's had conversations with me. They're both very familiar with how I am online. God, man, this is a hard one. It's a really hard one because you're almost trading a life for a life. And the worst part about this one, from what I understand, and I haven't been able to watch the entire video, honestly, and part of that is because I didn't want to mire myself in another one of these after just getting past the entire year-long thing with Derek Chauvin. And and the fact that there are people out there that made a gray area out of that verdict is just insanity. Okay, so I mean, the guy murdered a man, and that's the bottom line. So I'm glad that that's over.
100%.
But I did
exactly.
but I
that
did,
guy deserved what he got.
Yep.
But I did not want to, that day, like literally that friggin' day this happens. And I'm like, oh God, like really? Like we can't even breathe for a moment. Like it's almost like if you win the Super Bowl and the next day the season starts, like you can't even breathe for a second. So I haven't been able to watch it, but this is what I will say. I do still listen to political talk. I do still read what people have to say online. It seems to me that even with this situation, at the very least, I know I saw Jerry post something online today about, I think it was today or even yesterday, about defund the police is not, defund the police is dumb and blah, blah, blah. And I don't support that or whatever.
The wording is horrible. We agree the wording on that is terrible.
The wording is bad, yes, and I agree with that. But at the end of the day, I think this just shows that the system is just not right. I think at the end of the day, I get that the woman had a knife and but like the likelihood of stabbing someone and immediately killing them, like you can live for a long time getting stabbed. Like you have to hit, there are certain spots on the body that you can hit that a stabbing is
she was going for the neck. She was reaching.
Right, I get that, but you can get stabbed in the neck and live. Like that's not an automatic death sentence.
The guy had seconds to make a decision.
But shooting someone in the head, or in most places, if you shoot someone, other than maybe an appendage, they're going to their life is seriously in danger. Period. Like so, why wasn't a taser the first thought? A taser basically
when he pulled up, you haven't seen the video. She's a huge freaking lady.
I've seen parts of it.
She knocked down the one girl on the ground,
but she called the cops. But that's the other thing. This is what's throwing me
here. The cop doesn't know who called him. He just gets there and asked what was going on when he got there.
Right. So he had time to ask what was going on. Now I get that shit can go from, stuff can go from calm to shit in 2 seconds, right? I get that. Like I totally get. That's why I'm saying this is a gray. This is an ugly one. Like this is going to be one where, but to me, I think this also speaks to if a police officer shows up and is better prepared to deal with the emotional and mental side of things, as opposed to it's guns out, baby, and that's it. It could have been different. Not saying it definitely would have been, because I'm sure there are plenty of justified shootings. I have no doubt.
All Democrats and Republicans agree the cops do not get enough training. They need
trained to go and defend. They're not trained to deal with psychology.
LA cops get the least amount. California cops get the least amount of training than any other state. Also,
but what I'm asking, but I mean, if you want to get into the political angle of this, I don't think all Democrats and Republicans feel the same way, because there were Republicans out there saying that Derek Chauvin, even like I actually heard one of them say, quote, what did they say about Chauvin? I'm trying to remember the exact quote now because it was ridiculous. It was one of the top 5 dumbest things I've ever heard.
That guy from Florida?
No, I forget where he's from. But he said, I'm glad that Chauvin was found guilty on all charges, even if he wasn't guilty of all charges. And then someone pushed him and asked him to clarify that. And he said, yeah, because, if he wasn't found guilty, then, there was going to be riots and this, that, and the other. And it was almost like they were like a mob, this was almost mob justice, and this wasn't real court justice. And like, it just went on. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So not everybody's on the same page. They're not. It's completely, they're still playing politics, and it happens on both sides. I just happen to think that Democrats are right on this one. Training needs to be.
I have an opinion, but I'll wait until if someone wants to hear it.
Jerry needs to say his now.
Nah, like I said, I've only seen the video twice, and what I've seen of it so far, I know Chris, you can hate me for this, but I have to for right now, I have to side with the cop. we're human beings. I don't know. Like you said, we don't have the. We're human beings. And we make impulse decisions.
Jerry, did I hear you say, it was hard for me to hear, but I just want to say, did you say you were on the side of the cop?
Yes.
I actually, the reason why I asked you, and I was afraid of asking you that in case you said no, but I agree with you.
Now,
On this
I just
instance,
saw-
I'm for the cop, and the instance of that one
Right
girl
now,
who
I'm
didn't
saying
pull out
right
the taser instead and shot that guy trying to drive away. That was wrong. Also, she's been on the force for 28 years and she can't feel the difference between a taser and a gun.
Dude, and she's
Yeah.
a trainer.
Yeah,
She's a trainer.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's
then
like-
she knew she made, but see, there's a difference there. See, I
I
almost feel
won't
bad
say
for
what
her.
I want to say then. I'll be quiet.
All right.
I almost feel bad. I almost feel bad for the woman in that case because she actually acknowledged that she made a mistake. Like immediately when she did it, she goes, "Oh shit, I shot him." Like she didn't even know. Now that doesn't make it any better because
No.
it's clear that the training went bye-bye on that one. But the bottom line is like, I feel bad for her. It's just clear that she had lost it.
Yeah, I feel bad for her
So-
too.
Here's the thing. So now I'm watching the video live, like right this second. I'm watching it right now as this goes on. Okay. So you're getting like live reaction here. So I'm watching the cop
Okay.
walk up. One woman falls down. See, this looks like he could have, I don't know. It did happen quickly. I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm
I
telling
know,
you,
me too.
I feel like what's going to happen is this cop's going to lose their job. And I don't know. Wow.
I know. I'm right now. I have to side with the cop. I mean, unless something else comes out.
I mean, I can certainly side. He walks up, the woman gets knocked down, then she pivots and turns towards the other one, pulls the knife out. I don't know, man. I have to imagine. I mean, if he's the only cop there, there was another cop there. When did they show up? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to see a bigger picture.
I didn't know there was another cop there.
I only saw.
Well,
the one.
eventually, yeah, because you see everything from the body cam of the person who shot the woman, but then there's another cop there.
They have another guy whose house videotaped it. His security system videotaped it, and he came out today and said, "I'm the cop had no choice." What I saw in my video, and he gave his video to the cops too. So there's two different videos out there now: the cops and the security. So,
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right.
I'll be right back. Child.
Okay, man. So, Jerry, Lee, tell us what you were going to say right now.
I was going to say something about the George Floyd thing,
Mhm.
and I'm not. I was just going to say that he did. Sorry, I have some throat issues. So that's the reason why I'm hesitating. It's not because of my wanting to talk. It's because if I say I don't want to do that. But anyway, the idea is that George Floyd apparently did some pretty bad stuff to some people, and
No.
so
It doesn't matter
if-
what he did. He didn't deserve to die like that.
if you're thinking about what the cop did only as far as karmic energy, not as far as jurisdiction and law, but as far as what someone reaps, so they shall sow, it is possible. I'm not saying it's definite. I'm just saying it's possible that he got what he had dished out.
But the
Yikes.
thing is,
Okay, well,
nobody
I'm gonna let
deserves
that go.
nobody deserves to die like that, Lee. The thing is, he had his freaking knee on the guy's neck.
Well, what I want to say before
But listen, he had the guy
All right.
9 minutes And he
No, he
wasn't
didn't.
even staring at him to check on him to see if he was okay. He was sitting there talking to his officer friends. You know, why aren't you staring at the assailant you have on the ground? Why aren't you checking on him? He's yelling, he can't breathe, and you don't
From
do
what
anything.
I understand, and I know what you're talking about, but then why did George Floyd do stuff that caused other people's death when they could have said to him, stop, and he didn't stop? That's
He never.
all I want
Okay,
to say.
first off,
He never committed a murder.
He never committed a murder or anything that killed anybody. He dealt drugs.
Okay.
He took drugs.
I will shut up. You can talk.
No, I mean,
all of
say
you.
no.
There's all right. All I want to know is that, okay, I do agree with you, but I also think that in some ways that well he did do a lot of crappy stuff, like he went to a woman's house, and I think I heard that he stabbed her and she was pregnant, and that I could give you all a video talking about
I've never heard that. Is that true?
if you don't want to hear about it,
Lee,
I won't tell you. All I know is that
people lie to
whatever happened. Yes,
people lie to create a narrative.
I agree that it's wrong to die like that, but it's also wrong if someone commits a lot of crimes. That's all I'll say.
Just listen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that goes without saying, like that, you know, but two wrongs don't make a right. I mean, I could throw a million cliches at you about this, but the bottom line is the cops are not charged with the task of killing the guilty. Like, that's not a thing. You know, that's why we have a court system. That's why we have, you know, prisons. That's why we have these things.
Agree.
And I don't recall George Floyd being convicted or even brought up on violent charges. I know he had drug charges. I know he did time for, I believe, drug possession or dealing drugs at best. But again, that's neither here nor there. In that moment, it doesn't matter. In that moment, it's about humanity. And, you know, if you want to get into karmic retribution and what the universe has in store for you, I mean, that's some, like, I don't know. That's some cosmic shit.
Take care of it then. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was gonna say that's some cosmic shit that has nothing to do with nothing. And you know, I guess if you want to follow that train of thought, then yes, Derek Chauvin definitely got what he deserved, and I'm sure he will when he gets into prison. I don't wish that on anybody, but I'm sure a cop who knelt on someone, especially a black man, for 9.5 minutes, is going to get his share in prison. So
now this was over passing a fake $20 bill.
Yes,
that's what the crime was. Yes.
Now, is that worth dying for? I mean,
no.
And they said he was on fentanyl. And if you've ever been on fentanyl, you're in no condition to fight. I took that shit for 3 months while I was in the hospital with my pancreatitis, and trust me, you are not in a fighting mood on that stuff.
No, it's like somebody. And even though he was weed. You don't want to fight.
Even though he was on three times the legal, not the legal limit, the 3 times the limit that the body's supposed to, whatever the fuck ever. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is we have it on, like, for the first time in the history of the world, we have it on videotape that the dude knelt on him for 9.5 minutes, and half of that time you can hear him pleading, please get off me, please. People around him saw it. Eyewitnesses, please get off him. He's dying, get off of him. Like, and then even after the cop got off of them, they stopped an EMT from coming in to administer CPR to keep him alive. Like, every single thing that this person did screams he wanted this person to die. He thought he was going to get away with it. And I'm sorry, this wasn't your day, brother. Like, that's just how it is. This isn't training day up in this bitch. That's not how this went.
I totally agree with you. You know, I'm a fucking conservative.
No, this went
I'm also
and his karmic
I'm
retribution.
also freaking a Christian, and what I saw by that dude was not fucking Christian.
That was torture.
Well, anyway,
that was torture. Karmic retribution doesn't torture you. I mean,
it doesn't.
Plus, one thing that I just want to say is, regardless of how we feel, we are the ones who are giving the editorial. So we are free to say what we want. The
And you
people
are.
who were involved, especially George Floyd, who died, they don't have the say. And then the people who are like the cop who did it, he's already sentenced. So
Well, he's not
even
sentenced.
if
He's
we
convicted.
agree or disagree,
Sentence happens
which
in
is
6 months.
totally up to us and it's totally our choice, we have the freedom to do that. At least we weren't involved in a situation either on pro or con to do it. What we are doing is we are giving our say on it,
Well, of
which
course.
we have the right to say.
Well, and we also
Because
have,
hopefully that's going to make a better world for us. Because
Well, we have the
if
luxury.
we talk about what we feel, then that can be education for people in the future.
well,
You
we
know-
have a luxury to say these things
Yes.
for a multitude of reasons, because, you know, I can only speak for myself, but like Jerry and Mark and yourself, Lee, I don't know what outlets you have other than doing this with these two gentlemen, but like we all have outlets and we all have people that follow us and we all have people that listen to us and so on and so forth. And we have that. We also have the luxury of being white guys and in this country, and that's a big luxury in this country. And, you know, I don't know, man. That's just,
Unfortunately,
you know,
that's the truth.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm not going to sit here and have white guilt because I haven't done nothing to anybody. I'll help anybody. I don't care what color you are. I'll fucking be there for if you need me. You know, that's it.
That's
I'm
the one
not going to
thing that I
feel
think
guilty
is
because I
very
was born
important,
this way.
Mark.
It's not my fault. You know,
It's very, very
I want-
important, I think.
I want the system to
me,
change.
Mark-
I want people to see we all bleed red. We're all human. We're all in this fucking ball, fucking earth together. Let's fucking get along, man, and sing kumbaya or
hold
something,
on,
man.
So hold on.
I
Hold
feel
on.
Hold on.
that's very important what you said, Mark, because the truth is that we are born in whatever way we are born in, but it's our heart and our spirit that makes us who we are. And if someone only looks at a person for not the heart and not the spirit, then that's the shallow person, regardless of whatever they are.
So
I mean, it all
I'm not
sounds
asking-
great.
There's a lot of
I'm
good
not asking.
hearted people out there.
I'm not asking for your white guilt, Mark, and that's not a thing. That's not a phrase I would like to
No, I'm
use.
just saying
What I-
people
what
want
I
me to
would
feel
use-
guilty for being white. I'm not saying you
No,
guys do, but
no,
there's
no,
some
no.
people out there that do.
There's a big difference between. See, I think what has to happen in 2021 is it's a terminology issue. You need to admit your privilege, not your guilt. You
Oh,
have no guilt.
I know.
Yeah.
I cops
Not-
have pulled me over, and I know they would have shot other
Right.
people.
So
that
there's
what
no
happened to me.
so there's no guilt. If George Floyd was a white guy, he wouldn't have been stuck under someone's knee for 9.5 minutes.
That's true.
we
We
know
have
that to be true.
treated minorities like shit.
Exactly.
And it begins-
Fuck-
So,
it is
so,
fucked
so wait,
up.
wait. So going back, so I just to not interrupt my train of thought here, to go to what Lee was just saying, you know, we were all born with a heart, with a brain. We're all born equal coming out of the thing, right? Coming out of the womb. We're all, hey, we're just, you know, and if the world was that way from the very beginning of time, where everyone was treated equally, then that's fine. But can we all agree that we are a long way from equal in this country?
I don't agree
Generation
with that.
away. Generation.
Generationally, I will never see it in my lifetime where this doesn't happen anymore.
Well-
My kids probably won't see it. Their kids might see it, but the change has to start now. And I have to say, when Derek Chauvin was, you know, I was alive and I was a teenager when the Rodney King thing happened and those cops got off scot-free. And I remember as a young adult in my 20s when the cops in New York City got away with shooting a black man 19 times because he was trying to take out his key and get into his apartment. And, you know, they got away scot-free. So like I had tears in my eyes when those verdicts hit. I cheered when the first one was guilty. I cheered like my New York Rangers scored the game-winning goal. And then when the second one hit, I cried like a baby. I'm not even joking. When the third one hit, I didn't even hear it because I was over the moon happy because I know that it was a step in the right direction, but it's only one step. And and the first step in a million steps, millions of steps. We're so far behind.
I agree with that. I think this country treats people different because of your color. And I was happy today to see that the Senate passed a bill 94-1 on Asian hate, and it had bipartisanship for the first time I've seen it forever.
That passed? I didn't even see that
it
today. That's
passed.
tremendous.
The only one who was the only one who said no was a Republican. And I'm
Probably
a Republican.
Ted Cruz, that twat.
No, Ted Cruz didn't say no. It was another guy.
This might not be totally related, but it's kind of related. But
okay.
When I grew up, I grew up, I moved into a neighborhood on Dominga Avenue in Fairfax, California. There was one black family, a lady and her son. And the first time that I was doing like playing with everybody, his name Charles Boykin, and he was a gentleman. He said, "Hi, I'm Charles." He was half black because I think his dad was probably white. And but anyway, he was so cool, and his mom was so cool, and everybody loved Joan. There was no prejudice about her. In fact, I even looked somewhat recently to see Joan Boykin, just to see, and they had her picture, and she's there and she's smiling and she's looking good, and
still kicking.
They were some of the coolest people, and I asked him if he wanted to be a part of my band. He said no. I found out that there was a reason why he said no. It had nothing to do with not wanting to be a part of it. It had to do with something else that I'll keep quiet, except to say he was self-conscious about something. But it was a physical condition. But anyway, but I would say that with me, when I grew up, I was in a high school a junior high school where they're like, "Hey, Lee, do you want to play demolition basketball?" And that means no rules. That means me against everyone else, which means if you get the ball, all six of us can beat you up.
It's like Kill the Carrier.
Yeah, I'm not a macho man or
do
anything.
whatever
I'd pass on that game.
hell we want. But
I used to play
did
football
it because it was a way for me to be involved. Of course, I lived through it, but if there are no black people, no whatever other people there are in the community, there are going to be whites against other whites because of artisticness. Because, oh, you like this group, you don't like that group. So whatever someone can do to be against someone, they will be against. But I found that it wasn't about race where I grew up. It was about people being against people with whatever artistic or non-artistic minds that they had. That's all I wanted to say.
You know what else I want to say? What pisses me off is when I see a basketball star like LeBron James speak his mind, and he gets fucking shit on. Fucking shit on. If a white guy were to say what he says, they would have no shit. But LeBron James says accountability, and fucking everybody is on his shit. He
And
made
LeBron James.
He made a
Go ahead, I'm
mistake. He made a mistake about commenting on the cop before it's investigated. He said, I'm going to need to wait for this investigation to resolve before I say something about the girl who got shot by the cop with the knife. But he made a mistake. He admitted it and deleted that tweet. But the thing is, I'm tired of him getting shit. I'm tired of fucking, I'm a white man. I can say what I want. He can't say what he wants. And he's a fucking millionaire. People get on him. Well, you should have graduated high school, LeBron, before you speak your mind. I didn't graduate high school till I was fucking like 2 years ago.
I mean, I did, but who has the balls to call out LeBron James on anything? Not only is he a millionaire and like a pure American success story, but the guy, like, he is the model of his community. He sends kids to college. Like, he built a damn high school for kids, for underprivileged kids who can't afford to go to school. So
all colors get to go to that school too.
Any kid like any kid in Akron can go to college for nothing because of him, essentially. And like, you know, they're going to give him shit. I mean, it's obnoxious. It's completely obnoxious. And you're right. And, you know, I always say it all the time. Like, anybody whoever wants to show up and tell me, give me the, well, you know, where's my check? Where's my privilege check? No, you didn't get one. Or, but you don't get hassled. You don't get relentlessly shit on. You're allowed to say whatever you want, whenever you want. And, you know, at the end of the day, LeBron James is the perfect example. Who signs all of LeBron James checks? Who gives him all the money he's ever earned?
Jeannie
a white
Buss.
guy, a white man. No,
White
Nike,
woman.
white dude.
Oh, a white woman.
Lakers, white woman. Cavaliers, white man. Miami Heat, white man. Like, all over. Like, you can look at the top billionaires in the world, and I think there's maybe 2 or 3 that are black. Like, in this country, I think there's only 1 or 2 black people that are billionaires.
Michael Jordan.
He's not even a billionaire.
He's not
He
even
was a billionaire.
No.
I think Oprah Winfrey's a billionaire, and there's one other person who is the CEO of some company that it eludes me now. But and that's it. I think there's only 2. I don't think there's even more than that. So it's absurd that out of like the 110 billionaires that are in this country or something like that, only 2 or 3 of them are black people. I mean, you want to talk about, well, they've been free for, you know, hundreds of years or 100 and something years. And I'm like,
and they made laws for them to not to vote. They had to do a fucking test for them to vote.
And they're still doing it.
Yeah.
And they're still
I know
doing
this is
it.
Wikipedia, but it says Jordan's worth 1.6 billion.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I've
It's
lost track.
Wikipedia, so you don't know. So
what I was going to say is, I think that the fact that we're conscious of it, that's what makes us understanding and compassionate about people in general. I mean, we're only talking about those who are making those comparisons, but we ourselves understand that people are people. And so I think it's a good thing that we're having this conversation.
Just because we understand there's millions of people out there who are idiots that don't.
I mean, I think it shows a little bit of progress that the conversation is now actually happening, and that's wonderful. But that's definitely an advancement compared to, let's say, 10, 15, 20 years ago. However, on the flip side, you know, there's a lot of people in this country that, you know, thought that when Obama became president, they're like, oh, equality. There, we've achieved it. That's it. He's president now. It's done. Let's vote the racist in. Let's do that. let's go back to things as normal now. Come on, it's time to get back to things as normal. Old white guys only. No more of these people who have color to their skin. No more of that. We can't do that anymore. You know, so it's just it's
a double-edged sword.
It's a one step.
What I was going to say is that the fact that us that we're giving this kind of, conversation, that's part of progress. So as far as I'm concerned, the fact that we're able to talk about it, it doesn't mean that we totally agree in every single thing with each other, but
Oh, sure.
we agree that the point is conversation. And I think that we
Lee, you're cutting in
are
and out.
one point to pointing the way
Or is it just me?
to having it be a matter of people having the conversation.
Agreed.
I
I think the conversation is the beginning. So
I just wish
I agree
people
with
stop
that.
looking at color and just look at the person as an asshole. Just me.
Well, we're a long way from that, I think, unfortunately.
Look, I look at people, man. I love African Americans because they're blunt like me. I like people to tell me off, tell me what the fuck I'm doing. Tell me, I fucking have people delete me on Facebook and I don't know why the fuck they're deleting me. I'm just giving an opinion.
But
Can
can
I
I?
tell you
Can I?
something
But
really
okay,
quick?
so here's some
not gonna be
bluntness
an-
for here's some
Okay.
here's some
I was
bluntness
just
for
gonna
you.
say,
Okay, hold on.
I had thought when I was about 6, I said, I wish I was black. And my family said, why? And I said, they write such great music. I said, I wish,
It's true.
because I like the Jackson.
All the great
I
music came from black people.
Jackson
It's true.
5. I like the Temptations. I love that music.
I love
said,
that.
even
I
rock-
love
I
Prince,
wish
man.
I was black.
Even rock music
Yeah.
came from black people. But
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
but it's very important. It's very important. There was something that Mark said that's super important.
Is it just
And-
me that's breaking up, or is everybody breaking up?
No,
I'm hearing everybody just fine,
I'm hearing everybody just fine, Jerry.
I'm having issues.
Including you.
It looks like my internet
Including
might be
you.
going.
Yeah.
So if I disappear, I'll try to get back on.
Okay.
alrighty. But yeah,
And what's
Mark,
next?
Mark, something important that you said, Mark, was you said you wish everybody could not see color anymore or anything like that. And I have to be honest with you, that in and of itself, and I'm not, please don't take this the wrong way, I'm not calling you a racist, but it is kind of a racist ideal to want to, it's called whitewashing stuff for a reason. It's a very American thing to say. And the reason is because as an American, we don't have deep-rooted culture the way that Black people do, or Latinos do, or Asian people do. It's different. It's just different. So like as an American, like as a white guy myself, when I think of my deep-rooted, like, culture, I don't know what it is other than like baseball and whatever traditions my own family has, but they're not rooted in my Italian background or my Irish background or my Polish background. Some of it is, some of the foods we ate or some of the holidays we celebrated. But like at the end of the day, celebrating a Black person and seeing them for their Blackness, for their African roots and for what they are, like, I don't want to not see the color. I want to recognize their color and appreciate it and respect it. I think when I understand what you mean when you say, I don't want to see color, because you want to see it in terms of equality, that white is good as Black and so on and so forth in terms of people. But that is certainly not like, sadly, it's just like the all lives matter thing. Sure, in practice or in principle, saying all lives matter is absolutely 100% great and true. But as an answer to Black Lives Matter, it's racist. It's a racist, and it's negating. And that's the problem. See, we need to, because we have oppressed these people for so long, for this one group of people, any people of color, but specifically Black people who we forced to come here. Like, you need to understand that probably 95% of all Black people that live in this country are descendant of people who were forced to come here against their will.
That
So
is
like,
true.
so it's hard for us. So I have a hard time, and I'm not going to lie to you. It was maybe I don't know, 7 to 10 years ago, that I used to say the same thing. We're all the same. Why can't we just be treated the same way? It was like over the past 7 to 10 years where, homosexuality and people of color and accepting people for who they are. Yes. But not just
But it is
accepting
true
them,
what you're
not just
talking about.
not just accepting them, but recognizing them and appreciating them for who they are and everything that they are, not whitewashing it so we all are equal. Like that's not how
what
it
I
is.
meant is that we should just treat people as the way we want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Because,
and I know that.
that's
That's why
what
I'm
I
saying,
meant.
that's why.
Yeah.
So basically
to
I'm just
say
saying to you,
equal doesn't mean equal in exact opinions. It doesn't mean equal in, oh, I like this song by the Beatles and you like it as equal as me. That's a simplification, I know. But equal as in reverence, it means not necessarily agreeing totally, but it means accepting another's point of view as being their point of view because they exist on this planet. That's what reverence means. It doesn't
Sure.
mean respect as in I totally understand and agree. It just means I know that you have your own thoughts and your own reality, and I understand and I accept it because I am a human being and you are a human being. And so we can exist together. That's what reverence is. So
You know what I was thinking,
I
Lee?
revere that.
You know what I was thinking? I'm wondering how many hair metal bands out there that were trying to get going were black, and we didn't hear them because they didn't get a chance.
right? That's a great question, dude. That is a solid question because there's not a lot of them. I mean, even today in metal as a whole, there's not a lot of black artists.
You had Living
Like
Color. And
you had
another
Living
band,
Color, you had-
another metal
yeah.
band, another thrash band that I know that, but I can't
You had,
remember them there.
you had Fishbone, which weren't really metal per se, but they would touch metal every once in a while. You had LeJohn Witherspoon from Seven Dust.
Tony McAlpine.
Now, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tony
Tony
McAlpine.
McAlpine.
Definitely,
Rocky
he's been around
George from
forever.
Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah, and you had a few guys who played crap. It was a drummer from Mars Volta. What's his name? Pridgeon was his last name. I forget his first name though. Anyway, yeah, it's few and far between, just like women in metal too. It's the same thing.
Mhm.
Like it's the same thing. It's women, people of color. That's why, like, if you ever hear like a Latino artist like Claudio Sanchez from Coheed and Cambria, or the band Glassjaw is primarily all Latino. They all stick together, like all of them. Like they're all like,
Yeah.
Suicidal
community.
Tendencies had mostly a Hispanic in there.
Yep. So, and then you even get even further, like you have a band like Life of Agony who has a transgender singer. And like, so there are things happening, but it doesn't happen often. Metal is one of the most, they're one of the most egregious when it comes to being white male dominated. Like it's
And
sad.
I know there's a lot of black thrash bands on there. I heard about them. They just didn't get their due because they were black. And
Yep.
it kind
Body
of
count.
sucks.
Body count.
is
But
great.
Body Count had to rely on the fame of another guy already.
Ice-T.
Like Ice-T was a gangster rap like legend. So, and then they wrote one of the most controversial songs in the history of music. So
Yeah.
and brings it right round to where we are now, which was a song called Cop Killer. So, so there you go.
And Ice-T even regrets that song for some reason. I don't know why he does. But,
Well, because probably time and space. I don't know. But in any case, gentlemen, as wonderful as you are, I have to go tend to my children.
all right, man. We'll keep talking. Thank you, Chris, for appearing on here, man. We appreciate it.
Redbeard videos on YouTube. I have to get my plug out. Please check it out.
It was cool talking with you, Chris.
Take care, man. You're all enlightened
Right on,
gents.
man.
Have a
Take
good
care,
one.
man.
All right,
right, man.
bye.
All right. Well, I ran out of alcohol here. My wife won't let me have 2, 3.
Yeah, my audio is going in and out here.
Well,
I
I'll
haven't
just,
ran out
I'll
of
just,
alcohol,
I'll just
but
share
I-
some
Great record.
But
vinyl.
I'll wait until after we're done before
I'll
I
just
drink
share a
more.
couple vinyls with you guys. Doobie Brothers Festive, Glenn Fry, the All Nighter.
Right on.
That's one I haven't heard in a long time.
This Doobie Brothers, man, this
The All
sounds
Nighter.
amazing for an old greatest hits album. I was like amazed. But yeah, man, I wanted to talk about that stuff. I just wanted, and I fucking Chris is gone now. I wanted to ask him what he thought about the Kiss Netflix movie. That's supposed to come out, but get to that some other day.
We can say that for next week.
Yeah, we could say that for next week. Maybe I'll get him on to talk about that. All right, Leo, I'd like to thank you for coming on here, brother.
Hey, thank you.
And
Yeah,
check us out on YouTube on
Even though you didn't want to listen to much of what I said and you want to shut me up, I still thank you for having me on.
Well, I was kind of trying to get you going because we didn't have much time with Chris, brother.
I'm kidding with you.
All right.
But I mean, it's so good. I like that you had me on.
Well, also check us out on the Mark and Jerry bullshit sessions on YouTube, and also check out my brother
Definitely.
Lee, our freeform rock.
You didn't even have to talk about my.
Can I get to it? If you stop interrupting me, I get to all the plugs,
If
man.
you want, you can, but you don't have to.
Dude, I'm gonna say your podcast also. Let me finish and then talk. Okay. The Freeform Rock podcast on YouTube, audio version on Podbean and Apple Podcasts. And then we also got the great Lee Gerstmann on the Lee Gerstmann Show podcast, which is on Spreaker. All right, man. You happy now? Check them out. And follow us on we got a like page, the Mark and Jerry bullshit sessions on Facebook. Also follow us and get subscribed to our page, man. We finally got 16 subscribers.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, man. But I need to make a fucking what's it called? Fucking what the fuck is that? Fuckity fuck.
Whatever the fuck.
What was it? What was that thing? What was that thing? I already made us one. A fucking TikTok. I need to make us a Mark and Jerry bullshit sessions of TikTok. Make you record a little video for me here and there, Jerry, so I can put it up there and split us in two. Just to say, come see us. But I don't know how many TikTok accounts you could have, because Instagram, I could have I have fucking 2, I have 3 YouTube, but fucking Facebook can only let you have 1. Fuckers. So
What are you talking about online, man? You're like a guy who says I didn't take the money from the bank, but excuse me, cop, how do I leave with this money? You know?
All right, man.
I'm kidding with you.
All right, man. Watch Star Trek. We got to get our Star Trek reference in for Jerry's sister. Star Trek.
I don't care about Star Trek.
Either does she.
I might watch Star Trek on purpose just to see what the fuck you guys are into.
Boy, if you could get Star Trek Discovery, I keep trying to push everybody to that fucking show. Nobody's watching
Star
it.
Trek Discovery?
Yeah.
I might watch that.
Yeah.
I don't like the original, but I might like Star Trek Discovery.
I have the original poster right over there. All right, man. So let's end this, Jerry. Let's get out of here before we fucking piss people off. But I just want to say, man, just be good to each other. Don't be dicks, and the world will be better. You know, that's it. I don't see people, if they're assholes, that's how I see them. I don't care what color you're. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. That's it.
Sounds good.
Any last words, Jerry? Any last words, Jerry?
I'm having all kinds of audio issues here, guys. Sorry.
All right, man. You need to restart that computer. All right, take it easy, guys. I'll see you next week, Lee, and I'll see you next week, Jerry. All right, guys. That was
Yep.
the Mark and Jerry bullshit sessions. We're on YouTube exclusively. So get on there. We have a Facebook page. So get on there, subscribe, tell a friend, and hair metal rules. All right. Later.
All right, gentlemen. Take care.
Later.